Mhm.
Hey. Guess who?
Look at this guy.
Chopstick Jr.
Jack's back.
Jack's back.
Pick his nose.
So for those of you that don't know Jack, Jack is our intern who joined with us last year. And then he had the nerve to do two things.
Yes.
First thing he did, he got
right away
mono.
was getting mono.
Right?
We
Boom.
told him stay away from the girls because kissing disease.
Knocked him out.
Yeah.
And then
goes to college. My goodness.
Jack.
Education, chopstick guys.
Yeah.
I mean.
No, so you're in a film program. Yeah. And it's exciting to know that you're out there.
Yeah, so Jack is back. It's we're always glad to have him back and joining us anytime we can. Jack does our everything behind the scenes. So he runs our cameras, works on audio. He's a gimbal and drone master.
Yeah. All the things that we're really bad at. It seems like when he's not around,
and he can pack away sushi.
Yeah.
Jack went out to sushi with us today because he was really deprived. He hasn't had sushi in months.
It's been 4 months.
4 months.
4 months without sushi.
It's like, unless the chopstick guys are buying me sushi, not buying it out.
And he got to have the chopstick guy roll.
He did. He got the chopstick guy roll.
First time. Excellent. 10 out of 10. Would recommend.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you ever get into Roseville, California, you got to have the chopstick guy roll at Umi Sushi.
We do. We have our own roll. We got brand new menus. We're big on the menu right now.
It is.
But hey, a lot of you guys have asked us, what's going on? You haven't posted a lot of new videos lately, and it's really because we've been busy.
That's right. Yeah, we've had a lot of things going on. So last week we spent a few days in Napa, in the beautiful Napa Valley, and we've been working on a project there for a winery.
Yep.
And if we get a chance, I'll put a link in the description below that you guys can check out the video.
And we've been doing tons of headshots, weddings, senior portrait. It's just been a busy season.
So we just wrapped up our new show like 10 minutes ago. We said, let's go live, but it was all about headshots and gear.
Yep.
So lots of headshots lately.
Lots of headshots. And lots of cool talk about gear. It's a show you definitely want to catch, and Jack got into the conversation at lunch. It was one of our Talking Raw lunchtime little I wouldn't say disagreements, but wasn't even an argument.
No, not really. We've got to think of better topics that we're going to actually fight about, because that's not good TV. Just, I think you're right. Oh, yeah, no, you might be right, too.
Jack, what do you want to talk about today?
Let's see, we got gear.
I want to talk about drones.
Drones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you use the Karma, right? The GoPro Karma.
Yes.
Still happy with it?
I am. The reason I picked that one over the Mavic in the first place was because at the time, the only thing I had to shoot on was my GoPro, and I do a lot of outdoors, action sports stuff. So it was, compact. And it made sense. Now that I have an actual camera, I kind of wish I may have gone with the Mavic. But I mean, for what it's worth, I love the GoPro deal and the Karma grip.
But the Maverick wasn't even a thought when you bought it.
No, well, it was out, but
was it just out?
Yeah,
brand new.
It just come out. So
they're pretty pricey when they came out. Prices dropped on those, considerable.
So that was the other thing. Waiting would have been a good idea.
So my question for you guys out there is, how many of you use drones? We don't. I've been using a drone for about 2 years now, but I don't use it hardly at all. Just because it's bulky. I've got a Phantom 3 Pro.
It's just a pain to put together.
Put it all together. So what we're looking at getting is the Mavic Air. Wonder if any of you out there have a Mavic Air and what you think about it. And I'm a little preoccupied because I'm just trying to post up some notifications while we're live here.
And you don't do two things at once well.
I don't.
Fly drones, watch where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve's got an arm that proves that.
Yeah, you don't want to be anywhere near Mark when he's flying a drone. That's why we have Jack around to be our drone flyer.
That's right.
But yeah, that Mavic Air, if you know anybody that has one, or if you have one yourself, love to hear your feedback on that. That's one that Mark really is looking at, replacing the Phantom with that gizmo. I just love it because of the size. Yeah. Right. That's the coolest thing. It's like the size of an iPhone, like an iPhone 8 Plus, the bigger iPhone.
Yeah.
It's like that size, the rotors and all the arms and stuff fold right into itself.
For the power and the stabilization, it can't be beat.
It's awesome.
And it's actually, I mean, it's the same price as the GoPro Karma, and it's like a tenth of the size.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
yeah.
So just post in the group. So the other question I have for you guys, if you see this late in the replay, are you receiving notifications when we come on?
Yeah.
That's been kind of a big deal with a lot of YouTubers lately, are all saying, even some big channels are going, nobody's getting
This is
notified.
very strange. Right now, there's one person.
That's actually live
Yeah, we see it
watching,
live.
and we're used to
We
seeing
see
it. Not a lot.
Two people. All right.
But it's very strange. I mean, we would have, this time of day, which is like
We're going to have at least 20 or
20,
so.
25 people
Yeah.
that instantly are on. And it hasn't happened the last few lives that we've done. So let us
Hey,
know.
thumbs up, whoever you are.
Yeah, if you've got a notification to say we're live, let us know. If not,
Yeah.
tell us later that you're actually watching this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you didn't get a notification and you're not on, let us know.
Yeah, so we just wanted to.
It's just odd. It's very strange
Yeah.
what's going on. So it's a lot of weird YouTube stuff going on.
So in the news, some other things is there's been a lot of buzz. I don't know if you've been following, but Canon has been talking about a new 120 megapixel sensor that they've created. Hey, can you even imagine trying to work with those files?
No.
Because again, when they start talking 120 megapixel, that's megapixels. That's not like really the size. That's
It's not megabytes. It's megapixels.
exactly. It's just like, so what, like my files for my 610, when I uncompress them into Photoshop, they're 69 megabytes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a 24.5 megapixel camera. I can't even imagine 120.
Oh, it'd be nuts. And just the fact of like hard drive space and keeping that around, like you got to have so much hard drive space, with video, like how much space it can take. And thinking 120 megapixels.
That's a lot.
There's a lot of pickles.
A lot of pickles.
So yeah, but who knows? Is that good quality?
I imagine so.
You think will be?
Hope so.
Yeah,
All right, I mean, I don't know. I know they've done some tests on 100 megapixels cameras, and that like the low light has been really bad and all that stuff. But
Really?
yeah,
Interesting.
so we'll see. But I think it's important for Canon to establish themselves back as some kind of leader, because I know that they have lost. And I'm not saying that because we shoot Nikon, but they've lost a lot of.
Yeah, a lot of followers. A lot of people
and
jump
fans.
ship to Sony. Yep, Jack's a Sony shooter, and
Sony guy.
I sometimes shoot Sony. I'm
Yeah.
A7, but I'm a Nikon guy.
Yeah,
So I have Nikon
But it's
glass.
funny, I just don't hear a lot about Canon, and there's no excitement coming out from that side of the camp right now. Like nobody is going Canon. Because what have they had new really since the Mark IV?
Even, everybody said, when are they going to come out with a mirrorless camera? At least to their credit, Nikon now has said early next year, it's going to be ready to go. And I know it's harder than everybody thinks. Everybody thinks like, no,
Why can't you do it?
you just get rid of that shutter. And I don't know if how much you know about that. It's a matter of when you don't have that shutter, everything's closer to the lens, and that gap that's in between the lens and your sensor is all based mathematically on that distance. And it's like, if they take just the shutter away, all of these lenses that we have now won't work on a mirrorless camera because they're going to be too far away from the
Yeah, it's
sensor.
nothing to do with the mount type.
It's nothing to do with that.
It's the distance.
The
actually,
distance.
without adding an adapter or a ring in the middle, which you really don't want to do.
Yeah. Or, keeping the camera big and fat, because the whole idea of mirrorless is to get that camera lighter, smaller, more features in a littler package, which we talked a little bit about it in our last show, but, we've been talking about how much we love working with mirrorless cameras. You went back east and you rented the new Fuji HX1 and loved it. But what was your?
I can never remember. It's
the
It's
the H something.
Yeah, it's not the
It's not the GFX.
Yeah, not that one. But really impressive camera. But the surprising thing is that so I shoot Fuji also with an XT1, HT1. I think that's what I rented.
Yes.
And I was wondering if it would make me go, wow, I want this camera. Like after I got home, the files were great, ergonomics of the camera was great. But compared to my XT1, it wasn't that much better, and it was a lot bigger. Like
it was the same size as your.
It's the same size like my 750.
Yeah.
So
you might as well take in your Nikon D750.
Yeah. But the files on the Fuji are pretty spectacular. And files on the Fuji in general, just the color is so good. And the video on that camera was fantastic.
Speaking of Fuji, so our friend Scott Johnson from Essex, England, was just announced yesterday. Congratulations,
Yes,
Scott, as a
Scott.
Fuji X Pro.
Yeah, which is
Fuji
a
film.
big deal, because Fuji is one of those companies that does not just have anybody off the street. Hey, you're one of our pros.
And there's not a lot of them. And now Scott's one of them.
Yeah.
And well-deserved.
Scott is an amazing wedding photographer. He just finished a workshop, in fact, over in Italy. Yeah, he was at the Grappi Studios headquarters.
Which is a castle. They have their own castle.
In Italy, and he did a whole wedding workshop there. So if you're ever over anywhere in Europe, look Scott up.
Yeah.
Attend one of his workshops.
Yep, because he had a workshop just yesterday, was in Venice, right?
Yeah.
So all over. But incredible photographer. Congratulations, Scott, on that award. And not an award, but a position of being a Fujifilm Pro.
Yep. And the other guy I want to give a little shout out to is our friend Joe Edelman.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Who's just, man, the guy is a wealth of knowledge. If you don't follow Joe Edelman, you need to follow him. He does these things called Tog Chats, which are basically kind of what we're doing right now. They're these live chats, but go on YouTube, follow Joe Edelman, just a great guy. He's been a really big help to us, actually.
Totally.
And a big inspiration. Yeah. So I just want to give a shout out to Joe.
And now getting to know Joe, what you guys have to know is the Joe that you see on his show, that's Joe.
That's Joe.
He's just that real guy, and he's just so down to earth. He's so smart.
And Joe is an Olympus ambassador now.
He is, yeah.
So he had switched over to Olympus. He really caught Olympus's eye because of the stuff he's been doing.
Yeah.
And,
well deserved.
Oh man,
the stuff that he does with Olympus blows my mind. It's made me go, maybe we got to look at Olympus. Looking at another camera, because those files.
And he did not switch to Olympus because he was going to become a pro.
No,
that was nowhere. Yeah. That he just switched because he just.
We're finding that out a lot. I think we're all cynical, and we see people on YouTube, and we're like, they only talk about Nikon because they're sponsored by Nikon, or Nikon's paying, or Canon's paying them. And Joe's a guy that I'm sure people are going, oh, Joe's just loving Olympus because no, he tried an Olympus camera. He said they have a program for him to borrow the camera, and he was like, yeah, I'm sending you this back, but I'm buying one. It's like, because I love it that much.
And I'm actually pretty blown away with the files.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look really good.
So, and if you don't know anything about it, here's what's so impressive with Olympus. Olympus got internal stabilization. So the sensor is stabilized.
Yeah, which there's a few cameras that have that now. But
so you don't have to stabilize the lens.
Really good.
And it's,
super sharp lenses.
Yeah. And that's what you said was the one thing you found with the Fuji, though.
Yep.
Is, you said,
I was shooting down
a half a second.
A half a second handheld. Can you believe that? Half a second handheld, and the picture still turned out. I mean, was it perfectly sharp? No. Was it adequate? Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what's amazing, because that's internally stabilized too. So
it was pretty cool.
Which, our friends at Action Camera in Roseville, that was really the first time we got introduced to Olympus. When we were in there talking to them, and one of the guys goes, we were talking to Sony about all the great things going on with Sony. He's like, guys, I'm switching to Olympus, or I had just switched. And everybody's like, we don't know why. And he's like, why? Have you seen the video that comes out of Olympus? And he goes, and that stabilization is just king.
Mm-hmm.
So have you played with anything Olympus?
I have not. No, I'm trying to get my hands on one. I have a couple friends that do, and they love them. So
yeah, it's amazing.
It's just one of those companies that nobody ever thinks of, though. I mean, do you think of no, I'm going to go out and get an Olympus camera? No, that sounds like something your grandpa would have, right?
When I switched to Sony, it was like Sony. Even that was.
It's even like Lumix. It's like there's no way you can get good footage out of a micro Four Thirds sensor.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, that GH5, it's magic out of it. So you've been playing with a lot of gear at school.
Yeah.
So you were talking about what you've been playing with, an 8K red.
Yeah, we have.
Wizard, is that what it's called?
Yeah, we have the weapon. 8K, Scarlet. All those.
Okay, so you have access to all those. Yeah. Tell me what your favorite camera to shoot video with is.
Honestly, out of everything, personally, for what I'm doing, I love my Sony. I have the A7S II, and in the low light, I've matched it with red footage before. I've shot projects for people way more advanced that say, hey, we're going to shoot this, on the weapon, but we have this night scene. Can you bring your A7 so we can shoot it on that?
That's funny.
just, yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, I mean, it's your decision and it looks tremendous. And so just for the portability and the price point and everything, it can't go wrong, especially for a student. So if I have a bigger project, yeah, I'm going to shoot it on the Red, but for, I'd say like 90% of my stuff, I'm shooting on that Sony.
Yeah. And you can shoot 4K with it.
I can shoot 4K at night. I mean, I take the ISO up to 16,000 and it's just crystal clear.
Wow.
1600 or
16,000.
1,000.
It's, so it's fun.
So what is the advantage you think of shooting 8K? A lot of people are starting to talk 8K.
Honestly, the only thing I found is in post. I mean, I'm still learning everything and it is really fun to edit 8K footage in post. It's like, I'm going to zoom way in, right?
And that's what I mean. That's really for punching in, so you can go like, "Ooh, I need this piece."
And some stuff in After Effects, you just have a lot more to work with.
Okay.
At the same time, it's so hard because at that, I mean, anything above 4K, you're dealing with proxies and all the metadata and all that stuff just to edit the footage because nobody can handle that.
Yeah.
So you got to learn that stuff, which is a beast in its own. But it's fun, definitely worth it.
Yeah, I find when I even put 4K on my computer, trying to edit that, it starts to stare and starts slowing down, especially with you play with DJI footage.
Yeah.
DJI, the codec in there is so slow. And that's what I keep hearing everybody saying. And there's days where I go, oh no, I should have recorded that in 1080p.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of you guys probably tuning in and we're talking a little video, but any questions that you have, we are ready to talk. So.
And I hear it's just silence.
Yeah. Crickets.
Like,
hey, hopefully you guys got to listen to the interview that I did this week.
Oh, yeah.
With Matt Cohen. Had nothing to do with me. That guy, it was a great interview.
That was a really good interview. It wasn't just great. It was extra great.
Meat and potatoes.
It was the best interview you ever did.
Yeah, it was.
You listened.
I did.
I was impressed.
Yeah.
No, it was really good.
Yeah. Even things that he said, you can go back and watch it, but I love the fact when I asked him, what is like one thing you would tell people new to sports photography? And he was like, oh, it's easy. You got to get closer to your subject, and he was like, keep this in mind, if your subject's here and the background's here, that far and that far, you can't be, way back here shooting. You have to be closer to your subject than your subject is to the background to make them stand out, to actually make it. So he was talking about that importance of getting yourself in the right place and being there and taking chances. And somebody even caught it. Our friend Greg with the spider. He even made that quote, took it out, the quote from Matt that said, you can get a bunch of safe shots or you can take a risk and get an amazing shot. Mm-hmm. And he wasn't talking about put yourself in harm's way, but.
So like that interview that Mark did with Matt is one of those interviews you have to watch, even if you know nothing or don't care about rodeo.
Yep.
He gave so many nuggets of wisdom about photography and just philosophy of photography that can help you with any type. Go ahead, watch that video. Just look it up on our channel. I think it's titled like the world's greatest rodeo photographer.
Yep. And he truly is.
Yeah.
Hey.
It was good stuff.
Nice. Welcome back. Thank you.
Hey, that's my wife. She says, welcome back, Jack.
Welcome back, Jack.
Jack had if you're just joining us, Vanessa, he had the chopstick guy role today.
It was most excellent indeed.
She had it Friday for the first time.
Yeah, she experienced chopstick.
We had to come to Sacramento for the royal wedding.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Jack, you got up at 3 a.m. to watch the royal wedding, right?
Oh, I watched every second of it.
Every minute of it. He was at the Taylor Swift concert.
Yeah, I was too busy. Yeah.
So Jack, we're going to out him a little bit.
That's right.
He's a big time Taylor Swift closet fan.
Yeah.
And he's out of the closet. He's all Taylor-fied, Swiftified, or whatever.
Swift. And you weren't wearing
He's a Swifter.
He's a Swiftie.
No, I got a shirt.
No Taylor shirt. Did you get one?
But, okay.
You didn't wear it?
It was great. Still on my wristband. I mean, it's not on, but.
Okay, best Taylor Swift album.
Depends if you're going pop or country.
Just tell me best Taylor Swift album.
My personal favorite, probably 1989.
Okay.
Just because I like the pop more than country. But yeah, to each his own.
So
that's right.
So there's a little bit of Taylor Swift talk today on the Panoptic Chopsticks Live interview with Jack.
always something interesting. Something new.
So
that's my brain just went dead.
I think, yeah,
Just thinking about
we
Taylor
just like
Swift
want to
and
take a
Bruce
few
Banner.
minutes and just say hi to everybody and see if there's any questions out there. And, it's a little quiet today.
I'm not going to say anything about it, but just keep the 16th of June open if
Yes.
you're in Northern California.
For sure.
Yeah.
We've got a workshop that's in the works, and it's not. We can't announce it yet because there's still some. There's a lot of spinning
issues.
plates on this one, right? It's like we got 19 plates in the air. If it works out, we're going to do something on the 16th, whether it's just a photo walk or a workshop. So keep that date open. But if this one works out, this is one for the record books.
It is. So we're actually going to do this next week. Steve's going to drive up to Reading.
We're going to do a little
and
testing.
we're going to do a
concept.
test shoot with this whole concept, and it's going to blow you away.
Yeah, we're not going to share what it is, but it's the kind of thing that we say this a lot, right? In a tease, right? You don't want to miss this one because it's no, but this is unlike anything you've ever done in a workshop.
And,
right?
and again, this is a workshop that we're not going to teach you anything.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, and it's one of those things that like
You will never.
you will never have the opportunity to do it again.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You're still bringing the Lamborghini though,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, of course. I need to make sure it's insured.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we're counting. If there's no Lamborghini at the shoot, it's Jack's fault.
Jack's fault.
Yeah.
But no, we'll have some fun next week playing with that, and maybe we can once we kind of get the logistics down, we can start teasing you with what it is. But again, this is actually a workshop that isn't about coming and learning anything.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't even call it a workshop, right? This is a
Opportunity to take some really cool
Oh, yeah.
pictures.
It's gonna be a shooting session. What did our friend Scott say? Like, they're not really workshops; they're just shooting engagements or something. Shooting. He used a very eloquent word that I can never think of. But
when you have an English accent, everything sounds
sounds
elegant,
good.
and it's like, oh yes.
Yeah.
So that's our problem. We need English accents, but I can't do an English accent. I can just sound like a leprechaun. There always have to be Lucky Charms. It's like.
But yeah, keep the 16th open. 16th, if you are anywhere in Northern California.
Yeah.
I mean, anywhere. This is we're driving from Southern California. In fact, I know a guy that lives in Santa Barbara that is talking about driving up.
Yes.
For this one. So, and he doesn't even know what it is yet.
No, but it'll be a fun day. So
But he's still talking about driving up.
Yeah. So we're working on also some sponsorships for that day, so we can have some really cool equipment up here for you guys to play with. We want this to be you walk in and you start shooting. So
And you go, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And you leave there and go, wow.
And your friends will see your pictures and say,
Go,
wow.
Yeah.
So it's maybe that's what we call it, the wow workshop. Make photos that wow.
Wow. That's all I got.
Okay.
You got anything else?
I got nothing.
We sure ramble a lot. I don't know if we
did.
said anything interesting here in this whole 23 minutes. But
Yeah, today was a different day. There's not a lot of new news. So we're still waiting for that mirrorless Nikon to come out. And we're waiting for
Something.
that new drone to show up.
New lenses,
That's right.
new tripods, new stuff. Anyways, as we finish babbling here, as always, do not forget. Say
sushi.
All right, everybody. Till next time.
All right.
I'm reaching over and turning you off.